Good day, Uncle Taggy.
G'day, Jacob. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Hey, Jacob, who's your favourite Planet Coaster 2 YouTuber?
Silverlet, definitely.
Oh, well, can't argue with that. Anyone else you don't mind?
Minnow's pretty good. Yeah, there's so many. Ludi, Geekism, Moomin. Shall I go on?
Yeah, maybe someone you find really funny and clever.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Boogle.
Google.
Boogle.
Ooh, good choices. Great. Okay, well, look, perhaps we should get back to talking to these parrots. What do you reckon?
Yep.
Okay, well, I guess it's time to say goodbye to everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Jacob cracks me up. Well, g'day everyone, it's Taggy here. Hope you're doing super well. Thanks for joining me on this one, and a big shout out to my little nephew Jacob. I hope you enjoyed our recording for the little puppet show we've created here. And yeah, do me a favour, send him some love in the comments, would you? Him and his sisters Emily and Charlotte think it's pretty cool that I'm doing YouTube. So hi guys, hope you're doing well. And yeah, let's get into today's tutorial, which is going to be all about creating custom sliders. So little microcontrollers that I've figured out how we can make these puppets and animatronics that much easier using rotators. So yeah, looking forward to showing how it works. So let's get stuck in. Alright guys, well make sure you're subscribed because I'm going to do a very in-detail tutorial on how to create a very complicated puppet mechanism. But today we're just going to keep it simple and look at the fundamental mechanism for creating all of those animations. And that is a custom slider. So all of our sliders in the game, and if you remember, have a basic limitation in terms of their length. And there's sort of no way to change that length except for stacking them on top of each other, and then we're sort of beholden to the animation. Well, the good news is that using rotating platforms is we can create a slider of any size. And in this case, you can see they have a starting point and go out to the extreme and come back in because we're using the quarter oscillate medium. And these ones are unstepped and they're going to either side and always returning to the center. Now to prove the point, look how fast you can actually get these things going. And yeah, if I press play on that one, you can see we can get huge distances on our sliders on a slow speed or even a very fast speed. So they're both going out to the same space, but this one's traveling very, very slow. So this is possible due to a very simple mechanism that took me a little while to figure out, but it underpins, yeah, pretty much everything you saw in that opening animation. So let's have a look at how you build one. So I'm going to grab this little guy here and we'll just move it out and pull it up. And what you'll see is that we've got 4 rotating platforms that are working together to create, it's almost like a bifold door. Yeah, the way it expands, and the hinges are countering each other out and you get a linear line like that. And now the nice thing about it is what we can do is take our mechanism and basically just use the grid to position it out a little bit further. And I'm going to double click on that one and then double click on that one, and then I can bring this one back, and then you'll notice that it will now slide to a much further distance over the same speed. Off it goes while it catches up. And yeah, this gives us the ability to attach things to that blue piece. So I'm going to create it from scratch and you can follow along, and yeah, hopefully it helps. Okay, to make the slider, grab a moving platform and deactivate it. Select an animation type like quarter oscillate slow. Quarter is a good one because it will make the slider start and finish at the same point. And what I'm going to do is press Ctrl X and then move it. And that gives me these settings, and I can turn snap to position on. And I'm just going to click and then it should snap in. And I'm going to do the same thing again and again. Okay, so a slider takes 4 pieces like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a sequencer. So you need a sequencer for these to work. And yeah, if we just make it somewhat neat. what I'm going to do is take the base here and I'm going to call it slider base. And I think naming just helps us when we're building more complicated rigs. It's really useful to do that. So slider base. The next one I'm going to call slider 1. And then I'm going to come in here, attach scenery, and then I can go into the next level and go slider 2. And then, oh, by the way, if you right click and come out completely of your structure and then double click on this one, then you'll return into that hierarchy level right there. So we'll call this one slider attach, and that's going to be our attachment point. And what I like to do is color these. So I might make the base black, and then what I'll do is come into this one and make this one red. And then I know I want to attach anything to the red one. And okay, so I'm going to come back out, right clicking all the way, and I'm going to double click on the base and then grab these ones. Then what I'm going to do is we're going to turn on snap grid and rotate it 180 degrees. And you can bring this up if you like, doesn't really matter as long as it's in the same plane. And then I'm going to right click out of them again and then select this one in the chain so I can get the attach me. And I'm going to rotate that back up 180. And now I'll bring that up top. And now we've got the right angling and order. So let's just review that. You got the base one facing up, then you got the next two facing down in a chain, and then the last one's flipped back up again. And that's our slider point. What we're doing now is we need to move the blue ones any amount of distance, so 1.5 meters will do. And then we're going to go down the second level and then grab the red one and bring that one back. Okay, and what that's going to do is when we press play, by adding, firstly let's add those 4 motors, it'll create the slider. And it's doing it very neatly on that slow quarter oscillate. So what you can do is obviously just bury these together, as long as you go on the same plane up and down. And that was a nice thing about the Parrot show. All the animatronics are hidden under the ground, so there's no walls needed, even though I had all those curtains. They're not actually necessary. So there you go. That's how you make the micro slider. Now, what's really, really cool is you can stack these on top of each other and create multiples. So I'm going to create a very small one now and show you how that looks. So not only can you change the distance, you can change the animation type. So as long as you set it all consistently, I'm going to change all these to ultra fast. That will allow us to control the speed of the slider. And so basically it will transfer the distance into this animation type across every panel. Hopefully that's making sense. Okay, so ultra fast across the board, and if I just check my sequencer, they're all really fast. Now, it's not moving at all yet because we've got no distance on it, but let's say we wanted to create a very small mouthpiece, like on our parrots, the little beaks that move up and down. I'm just going to move it like 0.02 even, it's so tiny. And this is the nice thing about this method, is that we can create really cool little animatronics that just aren't possible otherwise. So 0.02. And yeah, we'll just make sure we're on the right speed here, and yeah, you can see it moving just a little bit, so like that. Now if you're not perfect with that alignment, you'll get a little bit of a wobble, so it pays to get that exactly accurate. So how do you do that? Well, what you can do is bring these down so that they're right on top of each other, and then you can see exactly your movement. So I'm going to take the blues, which are all of those, and just move them, so 0.02, and then we're going to go up the chain. I'm going to keep going, so I might bring it up so we can play with it better. Double click on that one, then I can get the red one. And then I can move this back exactly where it was. And now when we play that, it shouldn't wobble anymore. You just go up and down like that. Yeah. So the distance is important, and if you offset one of them or not, you'll get some really interesting curves, so you can do curved sliders as well. So I'll show you that. So here's our slider, it's a linear line. If I bring it up, make sure I select the right axis, and if we just edit the base and then move these three, we can offset this piece, something like so. And then when we press play, it's going to create this curved sliding effect. So by experimenting with different offsets, you can create all sorts of interesting positions. So just bring that back down and play. Yeah, you can see it's like a, almost a oval shape. And if you do that on a full oscillate, it'll go right around, or a full rotation. So yeah, it's interesting. And what I found is by combining all sorts of different shapes, we can get some really interesting effects. So non-linear sliders can be useful for creating all sorts of cool animations like this magical sword fight. And yeah, there's all sorts of complicated curves going on above the ground. And yeah, if I just bring these up, you can see that I've got a whole range of very fast sliders doing all sorts of kinds of different curves. And yeah, but basically they're just all rotating platforms. So everything I've shown you today is basically vanilla in Planet Coaster 2. And it should work on console, it should work everywhere. So hopefully it's been helpful. Yeah, we're going to go into a lot more detail in upcoming videos. I can't possibly cover all of this in one short video. So yeah, stick around, and thanks for your likes and subscribes. It really helps me out. Until then, I hope you have a wonderful week. Cheers, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.